Hello. Right, so stuff. Just going to talk about all the stuff that I use for mobile filmmaking as such, making videos, and this is like, well, my stuff, which is, there's quite a lot. I mean, obviously I don't use it all, but I just want to run through certain things that I do use to make my videos, and so can help you guys as well to see what you want to use yourself. So let's obviously start off with the device. Now, my weapon of choice is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The camera on this thing is absolutely insane, and so is the stabilization that's built in. Front and back, both 4K 60 cameras, brilliant. So that is my main camera that I use when making videos. At the minute I'm on my daughter's iPhone SE because obviously I need my phone. So what I'm going to do is run through a load of basic stuff that you need to get started. Obviously you've got tripods, gimbals, various brackets, mounts, lighting, microphones, all sorts. So I'm just going to run through the main things that I use when I'm making my stupid little YouTube videos. Okay, so I'm going to quickly run through some essentials that you're going to need for making videos on your mobile phone. Probably the most important thing after you've got your mobile phone is to actually have a microphone. So I have the Rode Video Mic Go. I also have the Rode Video Micro. They are the main two little shotgun mics I use when they're mounted on top of the phone on a holder or on a tripod. Usually on possibly a rig mount like this, where they literally just screw, or hot shoe mount, cold shoe mount straight to the top of the cage. Sometimes, depending on what you're doing interview wise, I've got a monopod which screws these microphones to screw straight into the end of, plug straight into your phone via your dongly thing. So you're going to need your TRRS cable, which is tip ring sleeve. That is the only way it'll work on a mobile phone, and obviously you'll need your lightning to 3.5mm jack adapter if you're on iPhone 7 onwards, which most people probably are by now. So yeah, they're the ones that you're using to sit down, probably no further than around about 3 feet away from you. They are directional obviously, so if you turn your head away then you're probably gonna lose quality of audio because it's meant to direct the sound as stuff. Yeah. Right, so that's basically their microphones. The microphone I'm using currently is a lavalier microphone. It is the Boya BY M1. So this is basically the same. Boya B1 comes with a massive amount of cable. You can literally just walk, well, to the end of the cable, which it's a really good sounding microphone. This is actually the, I don't know what I call it. I've got stupid names for them, but this is actually a dual microphone one. The one I'm using at the minute, it's clipped to me, is the single microphone one, which again just plugged in with the dongly thing straight into the side of the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So yeah, so these ones obviously ideal for more when you're walking around, and obviously they can pick up the sound really well, and they work great. I mean, I do have some issues sometimes with static interference with the shotgun condenser mics, and obviously the wind noise with these as well. So yeah, these microphones are great, and then you can get yourself some little wind socks as well, so you don't have to worry about well, wind noise. Well, you do, but you don't. So basically, so you've got your phone, you got your microphone. They're the main two important things. After that, it's just a case of like different tripods and stuff. So I have a selection. The boy's got one. He's doing a YouTube video on bottle flipping or something. It's a basic tiny little tripod. Ideal. You could just literally drop your phone in it, dump it anywhere. Brilliant. So I recommend at least 2 or 3, 4 of them because they are really good. One of the most important things that I bought is this Ulanzi Filmmakers metal case, hard case for your phone. It's I think it was about $40, but obviously you can see it's got the cutouts on the back for all 3 lenses, so you can actually screw ND filters. I think we've got some here. I'll show you. So yeah, you can get your ND filters, which obviously is good if you're out in bright light. And they'll screw with an adapter, screw directly onto the back of this case, which is absolutely brilliant. Obviously just pulls apart like that, all magnetized, comes with its own case, which is purposely for the iPhone 11 Pro Max. This one fits in there snug as you like. That literally just goes bang straight back on top, and then all you do then is just grab yourself grab a tripod, and you can literally just can't just screw it straight onto a tripod. Excellent. Like I said, it's got the shoe mounts on the top and the side, so you could, like I said, just get your microphone that quick and then just plug it straight into your phone. And then you could even at the bottom, I'm just going to grab it off of the old Osmo Mobile 3, get yourself a little tiny tripod on the bottom. Boom, you got yourself a contained little rig in seconds. Brilliant. And you just pick it up, just walk around. Hello, I'm a YouTube idiot. So yeah, that case is absolutely fantastic. I use it all the time, especially with the polarizing filters and the ND filters as well. I've got a variable ND filter and variable polarizing filter. So yeah, that's the filter side sorted out. But filters are important, definitely. If you're filming outside and you want to bring down the shutter speed and the ISO and keep it all balanced and stuff, then ND filters are a must. Lesson learned. Right, so I'll just go straight onto this quickly. This is the DJI Osmo Mobile 3, which obviously, if you're not sure of what these are, it's actually a motorized 3-axis gimbal, which you put your phone in, you balance it, boom, it sits it upright, and you can just walk around, and your phone is rock steady for all that smooth, buttery footage, as they say. So yeah, this is definitely, I don't actually use this as much as I'd like to use it, purely because the iPhone 11 stabilization is just insane, and just with a gentle hand, proper cradling your phone if you have to when you're walking, the iPhone's inbuilt stabilization is immense, and I really don't use it as much as I should, really. I mean, it's good when you're using it with the DJI Mimo app. You can have it like track you, so if you're walking along talking to yourself, you could just draw a little box round your face, and it will just keep your face in the center of the screen, and again, just keep it rock steady all the time. So yeah, that's the Osmo Mobile 3. And then obviously just the main, I've got a couple of just normal tripods with a normal 3/4 inch thread on the top, quick release obviously, so you can just take your phone off and move around. But definitely a solid tripod is a must if you're making videos and you're not moving around, because you just got that solid base where it's just going to be nice and smooth and no movement at all. So yeah, I would recommend definitely have a tripod. Now with my videos, I also have a couple of these cheap 4K action cameras, which are brilliant. I mean, they're not proper 4K, it's kind of upscaled and it does look great. So, but the 1080p 60, and it's ideal for little fill-in B-roll bits where you can just literally grab this, dump it wherever you like, drag off the files and put them back on your phone. So yeah, I've got 2 of them, they're great. That's probably about it. I've got a selection of like selfie sticks and different mounts and stuff. And obviously the thing that I'll just quickly take you off here, because this thing that you're on at the minute is just awesome. This is the newer Magic Arm, and it literally bolts on anywhere. You bolt it up, you literally just look at that, just undo that. It's like all floppy, but you could just, it is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Love it to pieces, love it to pieces. You just put that there, and then that is solid. That ain't going anywhere. So yeah, that's the newer Magic Arm, I think it is. Newer Magic Arm, something like that, yeah. And then obviously lighting. If you're indoors, low lighting, like I'm in my shed and I've turned loads of lights off, so I've just got that one light there, and obviously I've got the strip lights on the bench, but I've got a selection of loads of lights, which I'll show you in a second. Let's put this back on here properly. Right, so like I said, this thing takes that long to get back to roughly where you were, which is about there. Love it, absolutely love it. I'm going to invest in more of them. So yeah, a lot of selfie stick thing, and then obviously I've got separate audio recorders, which are only cheap little things I bought off eBay if I have to record audio separately, because sometimes I record audio and then use my drone camera, because I've got a 4K camera drone which is over there somewhere. I'll just quickly so yeah, I can actually, you can even handhold, it doesn't make sense. You can even use the drone handheld, so you've got 4K camera in there, and it is just, again, rock solid. I'll show you some test footage and overlay it somewhere around here, so you can see for yourself that just even hand holding it. The problem is though, you've obviously got to use a mobile phone and an app, so you're losing a device. So film with. So basically that's all the stuff that I use to make my videos. So now what I'm going to do is run you through some other things that are rather important that you need, like certain apps to accompany your filmmaking, which you've just got to spend the money out and buy them. So I'll show you them in a second. Right, okay, so you've got all your peripherals in place now and your rig is ready to go and you're ready to start filming. So most importantly, as soon as you start filming, is once you've got your device ready to go, make sure you're filming in landscape, not portrait. So before you start filming, turn your phone this direction. That direction is only good if you're only going to post videos to Instagram, really. So turn it that way, because we all watch the TV, and when people have been filming that way, they have to crop in with the bars and blur the background, and TVs are that way round, not that way. So film that way. Don't press record until you've got it that way, because if you start recording that way and then turn it, your video will be upside down, and then you have to turn it back round in post. Most importantly though, before you start filming, you always try and use the back camera, not the front camera. Purely because the back camera of your phone is better quality, better image than the front facing camera. Obviously if you're going to face yourself, you can use your front facing camera, or you can put a mirror behind so you can see the screen to make sure you're in focus, or just do a little test run, play it back, and then you'll see if you're framed up properly. So yeah, always use a back camera. Most importantly, before you do anything, clean the lens. Make sure you clean the lens, because these are in your pocket, you've got greasy fingers, any bits of dust. If you've got a tiny bit of dust on the lens, then it's going to show up in your video and it just will look rubbish. So just make the effort, just probably a t-shirt, whatever, just clean the lens before you start filming. So now you're all good to go. So if you don't want to invest in spending money out on apps, then just use the inbuilt iPhone camera, which is plenty good enough, but it's very, very basic, and it will shoot at Apple standard bitrate of about 50 megabytes per second. There are aftermarket apps which will shoot for better quality, but bear in mind that most people are going to watch your videos on a mobile device anyway, so your basic camera app in your phone is plenty good enough. So once you've opened up your camera app, you'll notice that try and film in the highest frame rate possible as well. Most camera phones these days, iPhones, will shoot 4K 30, 24, 60. I tend to shoot my videos for YouTube in 4K 60 because I can slow bits down if I need to. I'm not looking for that kind of film look, so 24 frames per second is pretty much what they use to shoot most movies and things like that, but like TV soaps and stuff are all shot in around about 60 frames a second, so 4K 60 is what I use pretty much most of the time to shoot my videos. So once you've got that set up in your settings and it's on 4K, whatever suits you, 1080p 60, 1080p 30, whatever suits you, find out what suits you. So just go with what you prefer, but like I said, I shoot 4K 60 on my phone. So you've got your camera open, you'll notice that there's a little yellow box if you tap the screen, which is your focus and exposure, and if you tap it, you've got a little slider on the side of it where you can slide up and down to set the exposure, and then if you tap and hold in the box, you'll lock your focus and exposure. That's if you're sitting down like I am now, it's locked in because I'm not moving around much, so it's not going to be hunting for focus at all. So if you're filming like moving around, then it's just leave it on autofocus. But if you're sitting like in this kind of situation, then just hold the yellow box down, and you'll see that it says autofocus and auto exposure lock at the top. So that will lock it in, and it's not going to move around and get overexposed or underexposed or anything. But if you want to pay out money, I personally though would recommend, if you're going to be doing mobile videography, making videos for YouTube or whatever, I would actually spend out the money and buy an app called Filmic Pro, which is I think it's £15 in the App Store, but it does have in-app purchase of cinematographer kit as well, which means you can shoot in a flat or a log profile rather than like just a normal colour, so you can colour grade it and colour correct it in post-production afterwards. But the app itself is brilliant. It's been around for ages. It's what most people mobile filmmaking use Filmic Pro, because it gives you more manual control over the settings of the camera app, so you can manually focus, so you can change the focus manually by using a little toggle wheel on the side. You can change the exposure, you can lock the exposure, you can change the ISO, you can change frame rates easy, you can change the bit rates, you can change audio, so you can use the you don't have to use like just one microphone, you can use the front microphone, the back microphone, or the bottom microphone. It is an investment. Obviously, to start with, just use a native camera app. Once you've learned that you want more control over your camera, but I thoroughly recommend using Filmic Pro, which is what I use pretty much all the time. And you can also have a remote app, which you can have on a different iOS device. So you can have it as like a field monitor screen, where you can lock in your exposure, your focus, and everything. So if you can use your back-facing camera and use the second device as a monitor to make sure everything's framed up, in focus, etc. So definitely recommend getting Filmic Pro. Also, I use a app called Buzzfree, I don't know. It's I think it's $6.99, and basically what it does, it cleans up audio as well. So sometimes when you're filming, you have a lot of background, like hissing, extra noise that you don't want in your videos. So you run the audio through Buzzfree, I don't know. Run it through there, and it takes away the hissing, the buzzing, and leaves a nice clean audio. Nice clean audio. So when you start to make your film, just pause before you start saying anything. Just pause for about 5 seconds, and then it's got that background noise clean up to work with. If you start talking straight away, it's going to struggle to clean up your background noise from your dialogue. So just leave it a few seconds and then start filming. But yeah, Buzzfree, that's I use that. So once you've got everything all in place and everything's all ready and done, you now want to edit. Now I do all my editing on the mobile device, because I just find it's a lot easier to have everything in one spot. So you're filming on your phone, so it makes more sense to not have to transfer it onto a PC or a laptop or a Mac or anything. You just do it on device. And the one app, and the only app really, it's not worth talking about any other app, is LumaFusion on iOS. Now again, this is not cheap app, but it's an investment. It's worth the money. It's $28.99 in the App Store, but it is very, it's not complex once you get used to it, but it's very useful editing app. You can have 6 audio tracks, 6 video tracks on the timeline. You can do transitions, you can add titles, you can add music, you can do so much with LumaFusion, and that's what I use to edit all my videos. You can stack tracks, and when I've done my video the other day of cloned myself, that was done in LumaFusion. There's the using the keyframing to do duck audio in and out, and videos in and out, and zooming in and out. It's a learning curve. So yeah, I definitely recommend for Filmic Pro 1, definitely, LumaFusion 2 for editing, and then it's export. You can either export it straight to Facebook, straight to YouTube, or back into your camera roll or your files, and then whatever you want to do. So you can set your frame rate, you set your ratio. So if you filmed in 4K 60, you start your project, you put the frame rate at 60 frames per second and your 16:9 landscape. Or if you filmed with an anamorphic lens, or you want to film it to make it look more cinematic, and you can drop it down to 2.39:1 ratio like films are. And then when you export it, you can export it in the highest quality possible, but you'll have big file sizes. But if you want the best quality, then that's what you have to do, unfortunately, and it's a waiting game for then it render into your camera roll, and then you can upload it to wherever. So yeah, definitely, if you're going to be doing this just on device, invest in LumaFusion. If you've got an iPad, I haven't, so I just use my iPhone 11 Pro Max to do all the filming, all the editing. But if you have a second iOS device, like an iPad, definitely, I would do your editing work in LumaFusion on the iPad, because you just got that bigger screen, the better control. If you've got like a pencil or stylus, it's just a lot easier to work with. So yeah, definitely go with LumaFusion. So that's pretty much it now. So you've got you've got your tripods, you've got your microphone sorted out, you've got your cameras, you've got your phone, you've got your camera sorted out. If you've got extra cameras to stick in little B-roll footage like I do, then excellent, use them. Like I say, I use my drone. I use these little cheap 4K action cameras, which they're pretty good. I can drop them in the aviary, I can put them on the floor. You could just literally just plonk them anywhere, just to get that little bit of extra footage to put in on your timeline to fill gaps. That's what B-roll is. So yeah, so have fun, good luck, and start filming. Thanks.